Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Alex and Mario from Real Grader for joining us. Our session today will be discussing five-site series on Google Business Training. Alex, thank you so much for joining us.
You got it. No problem. Thank you for being here, everybody. So first question I have for you all is if you have video enabled and you can join by video, feel free to join by video. We'd love to see the faces, the engagement. I feed off of your energy, and I'm going to bring it today for you all on Google Business. First question I have for you all. Let's see. Do we have any takers on video? Do they have video capability to turn on video?
They do, yes.
Awesome. Yeah, that lets me know that you're here, you're committed, you're ready to learn, you're going to take action. It's going to be very interactive today. I really want you all to get the importance of this Google because Google's changing a lot of things right now. And they've really changed how agents show up on Google search. And if you get what I'm putting out today as far as Google training and Google reviews, you're going to be years ahead of other realtors. Like Google Business has been around for a really long time, but now with the new changes that are happening, it's really going to position realtors who have a lot of reviews on the top of the list. And so the first question I have for all of you is, how many of you have a Google Business page already? So if you have a Google Business page, put I do. If you do not, put I do not in the chat. Awesome says Linda, says I do. Christina, I do. Robert, I do not. Grace says I do. Lynette, do not. All right, awesome. So we got some I do, some I do nots. Now, does everybody know what a Google Business page is and what it looks like? I'm going to show you an example of this. So let me grab this here.
And if you have your name as iPhone, if you could please change it to your actual name, unless your first name is I and your last name is phone.
So let's say I look up an agent, right? Anna Benavides here. This on the right-hand side that occupies 40% of the screen, that's a Google Business page. So why is that so important for you all? Is if I Google Benjamin Eisenberg or I Google Robert Brestovsky, right? I am going to either find their Google Business and go, wow, you've got a lot of reviews, or I'm not going to find it and I'm going to go, how long you been in the business, right? Straightforward. So the more reviews you have, the more you look like a reputable realtor. Now, here's the good news. Anybody can give you a Google review. On Zillow, it had to be a transaction. On Google, for example, Chris can give Peter a review because they did a deal together. Maria could give Benjamin a review because they worked together on something, right? You could be giving each other reviews. Your broker could give you a review. Your title person could give you a review. Your mortgage, your loan officer, anybody. So now we have this huge opportunity, and I don't know for how long, everybody, because Google's making it harder and harder, but there's this window of opportunity where agents are getting a tremendous number of reviews and building their reputation online. I had an agent last week. His name was Tim Teeps. Here, let me show you Tim. Tim Teeps is at Better Homes and Gardens. Tim had 0 reviews when he came into a class just like this one. 4 months later, Tim has 109 reviews. Tim got 46 reviews in the last 7 days. How did he do it? He asked. Pretty wild, right? How did he do it? He just asked. He asked a lot of people to give him a review, to speak about his reputation, to speak about his integrity, his professionalism, all of that, right? So all of you can do this, and you really need to consider doing this. Well, I'm not going to say that. You need to do this at this point in time because people look you up and they are going to make a judgment call on whether you're a reputable realtor or not. Now I'm going to take it a step further. Let's pick an area like Mark. What's a good area where there's a lot of listings in this region?
We could try White Plains.
So let's say I do best real estate agent in White Plains. Look what shows up, everybody. All kinds of Google business pages. So these are people who are sponsored, meaning they're paying per click to be here. And these are people that are organically showing up. But these are all Google business pages. Now, a consumer says, who's the best agent in White Plains? They go to Google, they don't know any better, right? Maybe they're out of town, maybe they don't know a realtor, maybe they do know a realtor, and they look them up and they go, okay, Matt Bizzaro has 1,000 reviews, Marciano has 77, Gino has 83, Remax has 134, etc. They can look at more businesses here. Now, what is that saying? That's saying Google is literally creating a directory of who they think the best agents are. Right? So the question is, do you want to be on this list or not? For your local area. And how do you get there? 2 requirements. Number 1, have a Google business page, which is free. Right? It's free to get a Google business page. You don't pay Google to get a Google business page. You just create it. And number 2 is to get reviews. And how do you get reviews? You ask more people. So who's ready to have an optimized Google business page like Tim with 100 reviews on it, right? Because that's it. There's no requirements here. This isn't like we need to go get a license or take a degree or take a test. This is just we have to set up our Google business page, basically set up our business on Google, which is free. And then we need to ask people for reviews so that we look strong and reputable online. So Robert, you said you didn't have a Google business. How long have you been in the business?
Yeah, so I got licensed back in June, so a very short period of time, like less than a year.
Perfect. So that's what I was thinking since you said you didn't have one. So this is an opportunity for you to position yourself as if you're an experienced agent, because you could literally have 100 reviews in less than a month, let's say, if you wanted to. You would just have to ask a bunch of people who can speak to your credibility, your reputation, and things like that, right? Maybe you leverage a previous business. So, and for those of you that have been in the business for 30 years, don't tell me you don't know at least 30 people, right? That you've done a deal with that you could reach out to and say, hey, I'm building my online presence. I really need some help right now. Could you give me a 5-star review? Make sense? So let me ask you the next question you can put in the chat. How many reviews, for those of you that said, I do have a Google business, how many reviews do you have now? And Christine makes a great point, and I'm going to use that, right? Christine says, unfortunately, anyone can write a review on your page, even if you didn't work with them. Unfortunately and fortunately, right? There's 2 sides to the coin. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, maybe they could go and give you a bad review, and that would be rough, right? But you would acknowledge that. But fortunately, anybody can do it. So you can have a bunch of good reviews that drown out that one bad review, and people know when it's just one fluke bad review, right? If you go to a hotel, there could be 15,000 reviews, but if they still have a 5-star rating, it's a pretty good hotel. Make sense? So Maria says, I have around 60. Christine says 12. James says 5 right now. Christina says, I have 29. Awesome. So let me go back here for a second. And let me frame a little bit who I am and why you might want to listen to this is, let's go here. So I've been in the industry for about 25 years. I'm the CEO of a company called RealGrader. I've worked with the Hudson Gateway Association for years now, doing trainings, monthly breakfast with benefits. I've been talking about Google for over 3 years in Westchester, and I have agents that listened to my training and they took it to the next level, and now they're crushing it, right? Like Penny Alper. Anybody know Penny Alper? She's in this organization. There's several. We work with all the top brands. I've spoken on stages for the National Association of Realtors. I do a lot of education for them. I'm doing a national webinar with them this month. I've spoken on stages internationally. I'm a digital marketing expert. I've won an award for $10 million in revenue from one digital marketing website, which is pretty wild. And I have this community of real estate influencers that listen to us with the latest and greatest technology so they can get ahead of their competition. So what I'm giving you today are the clues and the steps to getting ahead of everybody else, right? There's tens of thousands of agents in your local area. Can we all agree it could be competitive, we could say, right? So what's going to give you the edge? I'm going to give you the Google edge today. The Google edge is how to get more reviews, how to set yourself up on Google, how to take it to the next level. All right. I have a podcast you can listen to called the Real Estate Influencers Podcast. And I just got this information that I have one of the top 1% podcasts in the world. Why? Because I did it consistently. You only need to have more than 30 episodes to be a top 1% podcaster. So the question for all of you is, where can you be in the top 1%? Maybe you're the top 1% Google rated agent in your town. Maybe you're the top 1% Instagram posting agent. Maybe you're the top 1% YouTube. The numbers are not difficult to be in the top 1%. Okay. What do you think the average number of reviews are for an agent?
50.
It's 7. So to be above average, you need more than 7. To be in the top 1%, you probably need more than like 100 or 200. It's not wild. I have agents that have done it. So let's keep going here. I got a lot of videos on YouTube, youtube.com/realgrader. This one will be recorded as well, today's training. And I'm going to give you these guidebooks. So these are guidebooks on how you all need to get set up on Google, how to get set up on Facebook, all of these free profiles. You want to take advantage of these guidebooks that are going to teach you how to do it. And if you need help with it, we have a company that can help you with all this, right? So first thing, I'm going to put the link to the guidebooks in the chat so you all have it. So there's the link to the guidebooks. Copy down that link, grab it, and you'll have access to all the different guidebooks. Let me see if I can give you one other thing here while we're here.
I'm gonna repost it, Alex, again. This time is as a hyperlink, so people can just click on it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And the other thing I'm going to give you is, let's do this. I'm going to give you access to more training. Okay. If you text the word training to this phone number, it's not only going to give you a link to all the different trainings I've done, like all the replays, but then we can also send you some more resources that you can use as you get set up. Somebody's drawing on my screen. That's cute. Mario, you know how to remove the drawings on the screen? Let's see.
No, I was looking at it. I was thinking maybe I can erase it. No, I cannot. No, there, it's gone.
Yep, there we go. Perfect.
Sorry, where did you say we should text to?
If you text the word training to 516-400-4161, it'll automatically add you to our trainings, and it'll send you the link to all of the training replays I've done.
Can you put the number on the chat, please? 516?
Yeah, sure. Mario, can you put the phone number in the chat for
Yeah,
me?
will do.
Thank you. Just go back to share screen here. Perfect.
That was quick.
Go back.
Yeah, you literally show that there it is. 516-400-4161.
There we go. Sorry about that.
He's thinking at a very fast pace. Maybe too much coffee this morning. I don't know.
I did. This is my third webinar of the day. So yeah.
All right.
So once you do get that link, just say I got it in the chat so I know it's working for you all. Awesome, Chris got it. So in there, you have all the different training resources like how to get set up on Google, how to get set up on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all these different profiles. Awesome, I see a lot of people got it. Now, one of the resources that can help you also with getting reviews is to use your digital card. Many of you have a complimentary version of your digital card. Some of you have not gotten it yet, so we'll give you a link to that as well. And the good news is we're currently building digital cards for all of you. But we haven't released it yet. So in the meanwhile, I'm going to give you a link where you can create a digital card. Here it is in the chat. And this is a complimentary version that I'm giving you. So you're kind of getting a early feel for this. And that'll help you get a lot of Google reviews. Okay, so let's talk about Google Business. You can either dabble when it comes to your online presence with Google, or you can go all in. Now, your Google Business is the first thing that somebody sees, okay, when they Google you. But it's not the only thing they see. They're going to see your Facebook page. They're going to see your LinkedIn. They're going to see your realtor.com. So it's like your whole Google presence shows up when I Google Robert Brestovansky or Maria Campanelle or Benjamin Eisenberg. And I'm actually going to Google one of you live today to show you what it looks like and how we can further optimize our Google business pages. A lot of you have them set up, but you might not have them optimized. Some of you don't have them set up, so you'll need to set them up. Some of you might have them, but there's not enough Google reviews, so you got to get more Google reviews. So we're going to walk you through all of that today. Does that sound good? Awesome. Now, going all in is like I've got all the lights on the house, right? Like if I Google you and you've got the Google business set up, you've got 100 reviews, your Facebook is looking amazing, your Instagram looks great, your YouTube channel looks amazing, your realtor, your Zillow, your homes.com, that's all dialed. That's really going all in. And you have to decide at some point, what are you doing here? Are you dabbling or are you going all in? Because here's the thing that happens, everybody. We don't realize this. Mario and I just had this story. An agent went to a listing presentation, crushed the presentation, connected with the homeowner, right? Left the presentation going, I'm totally getting the listing. And what happened? That night, the family sat at dinner and the mom said, hey, we're going to list with this agent. And the kid said, okay, let me Google the agent. And they Googled the agent and there was no reviews and there was nothing on Instagram. Guess what happened? She didn't get the listing. This is the life we're in. People are going to go online and look at you, and you can kind of control how it goes if you build up your presence online.
Actually, we have
Yeah, go ahead.
we have this painful lesson on video.
Yeah.
This agent actually was kind enough to say, I'm going to make a video so that other agents learn from my mistake. And she made a promise to herself to grow her online presence, like no kidding, so that she would never have that happen again.
Yep. Yeah, James is like, this is the world we live in today. It is. And it's such an opportunity, though. I don't want to bring it like it's, fearful. It's like, yeah, okay, it's something to be worried about, but it's an opportunity. Because what if you walked into a listing presentation and said, hey, why don't you go ahead and Google me before I get there? Isn't that powerful? And then they read your 100 reviews and they're like, wow, you're a legit realtor. You're a part of the 1%. And then you win the listing before even walking in the door. I've had that happen for agents too. So it's just how do you spin it? Which way are you going to go? Are you going to be the dabbler or are you going to be the all in? Okay. So it all changed when Google launched Google Maps. And by the way, I made this image in ChatGPT. Right? I just said, hey, make me an image of me teaching a Google Maps class. And boom, it came up with this. Just a little side note. Google Maps changed everything when it came to Google because it put all of you on the map. You weren't on the map before. When my mom was doing real estate, by the way, my mom was a realtor. She's been in the I've been in the business 25 years. I helped her grow her business through digital marketing. But my mom used to put herself in the yellow pages, right? If you Googled, she tried to get, ABC Realty. So she was on the top of the list in the yellow pages. But now the yellow pages is Google. So we have to list ourselves on Google to get found. You got to build that trust, attract your customers, improve your rankings. And how you do it is with your Google business profile. Because here's the deal, Google reviews, they are the new word of mouth. I'm going to share another story with you. My mom retired. She moved to Aventura and she made some investments in Miami to get rental income. And she said, Alex, I want to unload one of my listings. I want to sell one of my listings. Who should I list with? She's retired. So I recommended a really amazing realtor in Miami that I knew. And she goes, okay, that's great. And she asked my brother who lived in North Carolina, who should I use? I don't know why she had to ask my brother. He's in North Carolina. I'm in Miami, but okay. So my mom and my dad researched both realtors on Google. And like my dad wrote a 3-page email on like which realtor is better based on what they saw online. Family versus Google. My mom didn't even trust me directly. She still went through the Google test, right? So it's the new word of mouth. So now more than ever, buyers and sellers are searching and evaluating the real estate agent, right? There's a lot of things going on in the industry. They're going to look you up. And what are they going to find? Now, here's the good news. I have agents, 140 reviews on Google organically. Do not buy them. Okay, warning, do not buy reviews, bad idea. You can get in a lot of trouble for that. You want to get them organically. This agent got 6 new reviews in 1 day. This agent got 22 new reviews in 11 days. Tim over here got 46 in a week. So can you now see the opportunity here? Like if you position yourself as the top realtor in Coral Gables or the top realtor in downtown or wherever you are, and you have the most reviews, or at least you're on the top of the list, you're going to win more phone calls. And if you start now, you might not win tonight, tomorrow, but in a year, you're going to be way further ahead than your competition. Now, here's another hack for you. Once you get the reviews on Google, you can copy them and paste them onto Realtor.com. So Realtor.com allows your customers to put reviews on Realtor.com under the review section, but you can put them in the recommendation section. So let's say Maria, who's on this call, got 100 reviews. She could copy all her reviews onto Realtor.com, and now she's got a great reputation on Realtor.com, and she's got a great reputation on Google. And she only needed to do it once. Make sense? All right. Let me show you one more example here. This is Miami versus New York City, okay? Now you're all in Miami for the most part area. I mean, sorry, you're in Westchester, sorry. And this I want to show you is 2 saturated markets, Miami and New York City. So Miami is very saturated compared to where you all are. It's a better opportunity where you are. You get why? Because if you were in Miami, you would need to have hundreds or thousands of reviews to compete. If you were in New York City, you would need thousands of reviews to compete. But in your local areas, it's not as competitive. Make sense? So when you're looking at it, you're like, oh, wow, that agent has so many reviews. Well, what if you were in New York City, though? What if you were in Miami? That would be way more competitive. So find your local niche and get a lot of reviews, and then you become top rated in that area. If you want to be a top rated agent on realtor.com, that's even easier because less people are putting it there. What are my thoughts on Zillow reviews? I think that's an old game. Like that's the game that we used to play 3-4 years ago, but now the new game is Google. So I'll pause there and just ask, what is your biggest takeaway so far? For those of you on the call who are getting what I'm putting out here, what's your biggest takeaway? Ray says, make the ask. Yes, Ray, absolutely. Anybody else got a takeaway? Maria says, I've been on your webinar many times. I need to take the step and sign up. So, yeah. Yeah, you either got to go all in or you're dabbling, right? And time is just continuing to go by, right? Take action, says Robert. Amazing that people rely on Google more than live people. Yeah, it's wild, right? But it's true. Be present all over the place. Awesome, Antonio. Yes. So now I'm going to Google somebody. So I need somebody who's going to be a volunteer, who's been in the business at least a couple of years. So just say, Google me in the chat. There we go. Maria says, me, 37 years. Google me. She was first. Way to go, Maria. See, Maria's on. It's all. And by the way, there's no coincidence here. Maria's on video. Maria's been paying attention the whole time. Second I said, put Google me, she dropped it in the chat. Action takers get rewards. So
yeah, I wanted to comment, Alex, on when we first did our podcast, when we first decided to make it a resource for the real estate industry, we brought in all these experts. They all would uniformly would say how people show up on their Zoom is how they show up on live. If they're shy, if they're multitasking, if they're not participating, chances are their businesses are also a reflection of that. And it's been over a year now since those podcasts, and it's still relevant. It's still happening. Really, how you show up here, like how you put yourself out here makes a big difference. And I wanted to comment, like many times when people would see your reviews, they get kind of obsessive about it. They start reading more and they start reading and comparing and reading and comparing. So by the time they actually speak to you, they feel like they already know you. They already like you. Like I just met this person, but they already like me. How does that happen? Well, because they read so much about you. There's other pictures of you with your family. There's other pictures of you talking about a town. They liked it enough. And the level of comfort that would otherwise take time in a conversation, maybe share a couple beers or whatever, is no longer there. They're already happy to talk with you, and they already have this warm and fuzzies thanks to the content you have online.
Absolutely. So let's take a look. Maria Campanelli, right? This is you on screen. You can unmute yourself, Maria. Let's see, ask to unmute.
Yes, that's me.
Awesome. All right, so Maria, the first thing is we Google you. Do you know if you have a Google business page?
I do. I have 65 reviews, but I have no content in it.
Okay, perfect. So this is great. We can give you some great feedback here. So Maria's doing a great job, right? She's got 65 reviews. That's making her reputable. Does anybody see what the first thing that we need to fix on her Google business page is? Do you see it, Maria?
My pictures,
Yeah,
they're kind of boring.
Well, we want to have your face here, right?
Okay.
If I Google you and I just met you at Starbucks or I met you at an open house, I'd want to Google you and the first thing I want to see is your face, right?
Yep.
Now, it's great that she's got 65 reviews. We'd want the photo there. She's got a little bio here, right? She's registered herself as real estate services. She's got her profiles, her LinkedIn, her Facebook, her Twitter, her Instagram linked. Many of you don't know this, but you can link all your social media profiles. You're basically telling Google what are your social media profiles. And that's super important because then notice that she has Instagram and Facebook in her organic results. Part of why this is showing up here is because it's linked here.
Mm-hmm.
So for all of you, make sure that you have your profile links set up on here as well. Now she's got a bio over here. This is great. The only thing with your bio I recommend is you add some service areas in here. That's going to optimize you for whatever towns you work in, right?
That's why I'm going to hire you.
There you go. And then you've got your posting. She said she posted 3 days ago, 4 days ago. So she's got some content going out. Most of you don't know this, but you can post on Google as well. And the more you post, the more your Google business gets optimized. She also has a contact for appointments linking to her website, right? Now I'm going to click on it. Ideally, so here's the issue with this, and a lot of people make this mistake, so it's okay, is she's linking for appointments to her website, but now I have to go find where I can make an appointment with her. For many of you, you just want to link directly to your digital card or right to a calendar. Because if I'm going to make an appointment, it's like I'm a lead. The last thing I want is I get lost and can't find where to make the appointment, right? So Google Business, face, reviews, put in your contact info, link to your website, link to all of your different profiles, right? She's linking to all of them. That's great. And she's linking to her website, but we want her to link to her calendar, okay? Now there's way more that you can optimize on your Google business. So let's take a look here at another one. I'm gonna look at Anna. How do you optimize your Google business page? Well, first of all, you need to be logged into your Gmail. And then if you are logged into your Gmail and you go look for your Google business, you're going to see all this stuff in the center. Edit profile, read reviews, photos, add update, performance, advertise, edit products, etc. This is where you can go and optimize your Google business. Okay. So Maria, for example, you want to edit your profile and change that link. You click on the edit profile part. You want to go respond to your reviews, you click on read reviews and you go respond. You want to change the photo, you go to photos and change the photo. Google's making it pretty easy, but you do need to be logged into your Gmail and have a Google business page to make the changes. Now, what else? You can advertise, obviously. You have the opportunity to create an ad, but I wouldn't recommend that unless you really know what you're doing. I'd probably use an expert for that. She could add products like Anna did. So she could add some products. She could link to her digital card. Those are some additional things. And notice how we have Anna's photo here. That's ideally how I'd want Maria's to be set up, right? Now, somebody said, how do I get the link to get reviews? Well, you can go to edit your profile and it'll give you the link to get reviews, or you can click on the map and you've got a share button here. That share button is the link right to your Google business. It's not the link right to your Google reviews, but it's pretty close. There is a way to get the link right to the Google reviews, and that would be to go into the dashboard and get the link. So here you have get more reviews, and then they give you the link right to the review section. I'll do that one more time because some people lose me on that one. So if you didn't know how to get into your Google business, but you had one and you wanted to know how to get reviews, you click on the map of your Google business, and then you click on the share button. And that's the link. If you did have access, you'd go to read reviews, you'd click on get more reviews, and then you've got this link. And if you had a digital card, you would put this link into your digital card, and then you could share it by text or QR code to anybody to get reviews. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Any questions there? Feel free to put them in the chat. Gamble says, please address how to create a Google business profile without getting denied. It's tricky, right? That's not an easy answer. So sometimes agents get denied on creating a Google business because there's so many agents at the same physical location. We don't have that problem because we know how to do it. So if you want to hire an expert, you can hire an expert, but you do want to be careful when you're setting it up. Complicated question, Gamble. The easy answer is use a professional to do it if you're getting denied or you're having issues with it, because you can end up spending weeks in this Google loop. In general, people can set up their Google business pages. It just takes time and expertise on how to set it up properly.
It's no longer easy the way it used to be. Before, you could make a Google business page without knowing a lot, without having to verify a lot.
Yeah.
Boom, there you are. I'm on Google, yay. But because people did abuse that, and because people realized the huge benefit of having a Google business page, Google got strict, and they're not very straightforward with their guidelines. They're not very clear. They're not always consistent. We've learned how to like jump to a bunch of hoops, go through the little roller coaster. We finally figured it out, but that's not something we would expect somebody who doesn't do this all the time to know.
Yeah. So what else can happen with your Google business page? Your Google business page, besides being able to edit the general stuff, and you should all make sure it's optimized, you're going to get the reviews, which you need to respond to. Okay, very important, you respond to the reviews, and I would turn that into a sales opportunity. I would literally call anybody who left me a review and thank them and turn that into a conversation, because you never know who they could refer you to.
Right.
If they just gave you a review, that means they really loved your service and they want to tell the world about you. Great. You can ask for 3 referrals, right? Photos. You should add photos, but be careful that you have your photo as the default photo. Okay. That's under the photo section. Add an update. You could add an update at any time, right? Kimberly says, how do you change your address? You can change your address in the edit profile section, but be very careful when changing addresses, because that is something that flags Google to suspend a page. And then you would have to send in a video verifying that you're at that address. That one's pretty complicated. You can make other changes to your Google business without worrying, but when you change phone numbers and contact info, Google says, let's see if this is legit or not, right? Dee Dee says, I have a page and I'm still working on it, but I can't set up effective ads. Is there a class? Yes, I have what's called a Google Mastery Challenge, where we talk about setting up effective ads. Mario, if you provide the link in the chat, any of you can join that challenge. James says, I changed my address a while ago. Has been unverified, impossible to fix it. Not impossible, it's possible. Just takes a lot of work, James. We deal with that a lot for our clients. So you can reach out to us. We'll give you an opportunity at the end. What else? Performance. You can track how many people are clicking on your Google business profile, how many people called you, because you want to drive up those leads. You can advertise, you can edit your products, your services, your bookings, or how many people book appointments with you. You can have a Q&A section. So a lot of people think a Google business is really basic, but look at all the stuff I just showed you. There's like 10 different things you can do on a Google business. And if you take advantage of these things, Google ranks you higher. Why? It's just like anything. When you take advantage of YouTube Shorts, your YouTube channel does better. When you take advantage of Instagram Reels, your Instagram does better. When you take advantage of the features, you do better on these engines. Okay? Now let's go back for a second to Maria. So Maria, you have 65 reviews here. And if I go to your realtor.com, amazing. Look at this. We got to acknowledge Maria because she's really taking care of her stuff. She's got 127 recommendations. Okay. Which means, and the recommendation section is where you can add them. Did you do that by adding them, or did you have somebody go in and do it?
We have a service that pulls them from different places. I have probably close to 200 on Zillow.
Nice.
Because I've been using Zillow all this time. So they've just been, I forget the name of the company that my office uses, but they pull them from different places, and they put realtor.com is one of the spots they put them on.
So watch this, everybody. I go to realtor.com and I say, find me an agent on Croton on the Hudson, right? And I say search. And realtor.com has 347 agents that it found. Okay. Watch this though. This is crazy. I go, show me all the ones that have 5 stars. Now I'm down to 92 agents. Show me all the ones that have 5 stars and have more than 10 recommendations. Now I'm down to 20 agents. And Maria's right here. Pretty wild. Maria probably didn't even know this, right? So Maria is actually number 4 on the list right now. Now she, based on her recommendations, let's just see. What do we got? 20, so 63. Maria, you're winning. So Maria is the most highly recommended agent on Realtor.com right now for Croton-on-Hudson. Could you use that in your marketing?
For sure.
Right? And the only thing that's holding you back from being like number one is getting more reviews. So if you got a bunch of reviews, like Barbara here has 60 reviews and 63 recommendations. So Realtor.com gives that a little more,
Right.
a little more lift. But you could, look, 6 and 13 is the next ones. So if you got more than 13, you'd probably be right up there. So I want to give you all the edge, right? Like I'm trying to point out, like, where can you get an edge? It turns out Maria has an edge. She's already got all these recommendations. She's already got all these reviews. She can start leveraging that in her marketing. She can go to listing presentations and say, hey, I'm a top rated agent on Realtor.com. In fact, here, let me show you, right? You could show a homeowner, hey, if you Google for an agent in Realtor.com, look, I'm on the top of the list. Pretty wild, right?
Yep.
So you can do this for any area. And here's what I'm trying to show you all is that even Realtor.com just did this. The ability for people to search for who's the highest rated agent, who's got the most recommendations. Now, if I was a consumer, am I going to look for the agent that's got 5-star or the one that says 1 star? Kind of silly, right? I'm obviously going to go for the 5-star. And am I going to go for the one that has more recommendations or less? Obviously the one that has more.
Yeah.
So now I'm down to 20 agents that actually are recommended in this area. Google's doing the same thing. So that's the opportunity for you all to get ahead. Okay. I want to offer you all, was that valuable for you, Maria? Did you learn something?
Yes.
What's your biggest takeaway?
I mean, I kind of know what I have to do. I just have to figure out how to do it. And like I said, I've been on a few of your webinars, and I know that that's probably what I need to be doing right now is to sign up.
So this audit that I just did for you all, for Maria, all of you get this complimentary. So if you want an audit done, I'm going to give you the link in the chat right now. Let's put it here. My team will get on a call with you on a Zoom call and show you, just like we did for Maria, how your online presence is looking. But we won't just look at your Google. We'll look at your Google, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, all of your different profiles. And then we can also, yeah, James, that would be the best way is if you click on that and schedule time, we can figure out why you're unverified and see if we can help you with that. So even for you, Maria, that's like the best way is hop on a call with one of my team members. But I just gave you all the link. Let me see if I can get you the QR code as well for that. Once you schedule, just say I scheduled so I know it worked for you all.
What's today? The 12th.
So there's the QR code if you need it as well. And then I'm going to show you different ways to ask for reviews because I want you to understand how you should be asking for these reviews. And I'm going to show you some different people you can start asking for reviews as well. Yeah, James, if you're not verified, if you get on a call with our team, we can help you through that.
Oh,
I'll give you all another second to do that, and then we'll come back and show you who to ask. Mario, any questions in the chat I need to answer?
No, so far nothing. We're good.
All right, we got 10 minutes left. So let me help you all really open your creative zone when you're asking for these reviews. Okay. There is a multitude of people that you can be asking. Here's just some of them. Obviously, you can ask your past clients for reviews, right? You can ask anybody that you've helped for a review. You can ask your friends. You can ask your Facebook friends. You can ask colleagues. You can ask your broker. You can ask agents, mortgage brokers, title agents, insurance brokers, lawyers, partners, vendors, contractors. You could go give a review to somebody else and say, hey, I just left you an amazing 5-star review. Would you mind returning the favor and giving me one back? Because I recommend you all the time as a top title person or a top mortgage person, right? So, I mean, all of you are in the business of relationships and referrals. You probably refer business to other people. Give them a review, which is nice. And when you do that, post a picture of your business card or of you and your contact info on their Google business page, which is a nice little touch. So when people are looking them up, they can also see that you're the realtor of choice. You know, many of you leave your business cards at local vendors, right? Local restaurants or local places. You can also kind of leave your business card on a Google review. Now, if you start opening it up like this, now can you see the potential of how many different people you can ask for reviews? Not just your present clients. Does that make sense? So based on that, how many reviews could you set as a goal for yourself till the end of the year? Like, let's set a goal for ourselves. Like Ray said, 200. Amazing, Ray. Can you imagine people look you up and they see 200 reviews for you? Obviously, that's going to say Ray is a reputable realtor. It's probably going to get on the top of the list in his local area. He'll show up on the Google 3-pack. He'll start getting more phone calls and leads. How about for the others on the call? What's a goal that you can set for yourself on the number of reviews you'll have by the end of the year? Christine says 62. Awesome. I like the specificity there. 150 for Peter. Amazing. Benjamin, 15. I love it. Robert, 50. So here's an example of an agent that left me a review or our company on our Google business page. I think this was super smart. Crystal not only left a review, but she put a picture of her branding. So what if you left a review on like a contractor's website or a title person's website and there was a picture of you and your contact info? That'd be pretty smart. How do you get more reviews? Well, you need the link and you need to ask. What's a great way to ask? Well, we're doing a challenge right now. So you could leverage that and say, hey, I'm in a Google challenge right now. I'm trying to get to 50 reviews by the end of the year. Would you be so kind to give me 5 stars and help me reach my goal? And then people feel like they're contributing towards something, so they're more likely to do it, right? They want to help you reach your goal. Christine says, how do you add the picture? When you go to add a review, it says, would you like to add photo or video? And you can add photo. So let me jump ahead here. Right here. With the digital card, you're going to be able to ask reviews really easily. So for those of you that have your digital card, you know what I'm talking about. We have a simple share by text link, and it'll shoot the link out right to the 5-star review section. So that's going to save you time. Here's where you can add the photo to the review, right? Somebody said, how do you add the photo? You just go put the 5 stars, put in the words, add photo. You all could start giving each other reviews if you wanted to. Mario and I did a class last Friday. While they were on the class, they were giving each other reviews. They got 5 reviews each. Not all of them, but people who participated in the challenge. So let's jump ahead here. Ways to ask. You can ask in person. That's always very effective because you're with the person at the closing table or at they just went under contract. You can ask them by email. That's not as effective. You can do it by email, but it's not as effective as by text or in person. You can ask them on social media. You can ask them on Facebook Messenger. This one is very effective. Why? Because they're already online. So you send them a Facebook message and say, hey, I see you're online. I'm in this Google review challenge. Do you have like 2 minutes to give me a Google review? Here's the link. You can ask them by text. Very effective when asking by text. Because if it doesn't show up, you can follow up and say, hey, I didn't see it show up. Did you get a chance to post that? So now you can hold them accountable. You can ask by video. Sometimes I do a video, I shoot it on my phone, and I do a video and go, hey, it's Alex. I'm in a Google review challenge. I'd love if you could take 2 minutes and give me a review. And you could text this video to somebody. So by now you should have a sense of, wow, there's so many different ways to ask for reviews. There's so many different people I can ask for reviews. And if I position myself with a bunch of reviews, I'm going to show up on Google on the top of the search engines, and I'm going to win more business. And I'm just letting you know, the agents that started this years ago, they are literally feeding their entire teams off of this. Like I have a client, Gary Ashton, he's the #1 RE/MAX team in the world. He has 1,300 reviews. He distributes leads to all his agents. So this is also an asset for your business. And it's not getting any easier. So it's also kind of a time sensitive thing. Like I'd love for all of you to jump on it this year, getting reviews, because it's going to get harder next year. It's already getting harder. Sometimes the reviews don't show up. Sometimes they feel like you're faking it, so they don't show your review. Stuff like that can happen. So don't get frustrated. Just keep moving on, right? Keep getting reviews. Also, if you get a bad review, don't get frustrated. Acknowledge the bad review and move on and get more good reviews, right? So let's hear, what are your biggest takeaways so far? I got Ashley says, I'm on it. Google should be our focus, says Maria. Yes. Love the pick in the review, says Chris. Awesome. And you should already be starting to think like, who can I ask for a review from? Or if you haven't set up your Google business, now I'm going to go try to set up my Google business, right? But this is your way of placing yourself in the directory as a top-rated agent. So, question for you all. Who are you going to ask today? Do you already have an idea on who to go ask? Because education alone never helped anyone. I can do education all day. Mario knows I educated over 100,000 agents, but here's the thing. There's a small percentage that will take action and win. And 99% of people will not. And they will stay where they are. So you either seize the opportunity and take it to the next level, and you're really going to notice the difference. You're going to notice that you're showing up more. You're getting more leads. You're getting more phone calls than the competition. So I leave you with this. If you saw value in today, let me know in the chat, 1 through 10. 10 is, I enjoyed the class today. This was great. 11 is like, this was over the top. 1 is like, I should have left at the first minute. Let me know. Benjamin is a 9. Maria is an 11. Love it. Ray's a 10. Lynette's a 10. So I'm going to practice what I preach. If you saw value in today's training, I'm looking to speak at more events. I'm looking to help a lot more agents. Give us a 5-star review. This is the QR code to give us a 5-star review. This is from my Instacard. I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you saw value today and you want to see what your customers go through when they give a review, they're going to go click a link, just like I'm providing to you. I even purchased a domain name, realgraderreview.com. You could get mariacampanelli.review.com. And then you could share that to get reviews. So if you want to take a few moments and give us a review, we'd appreciate it. We're on the hour. I want to make sure I end on time. Thank you so much, Mark, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, Alex, for joining us today, and looking forward to our next upcoming session.
Awesome, everybody.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.